What is going on, everybody? I am back today to talk about a horror film that is a little bit older. And why am I talking about this movie? Well, because I was in the mood to watch a horror movie. And it was funny because when I posted my review on Letterboxd, someone commented and said, "Why do you watch these random movies?" Well, there's a good answer as to why I watch these random movies. And that is, if you've been following me on YouTube or TikTok, you realize I post a review virtually every day of the year. I don't think I've missed a day in months. I post a review of a film every single day or a topic video. I watch a lot of movies a year, and a lot of times I'll watch movies that have been on my watch list for a really long time. I watch new release movies. Sometimes it's fun for me to just go on a streaming service, click a random movie, know absolutely nothing about it, and just watch it. I don't even like to read reviews beforehand, and just watch the movie, see what I'm going to think about it. And I was on Hulu, and I saw a poster for this movie called Trespassers, and it had a really cool, almost like 80s nostalgia looking slasher type of poster. And I was like, oh, cool. And I read the description, home invasion movie. I was like, maybe this will have some slasher elements or some homage to the 80s era that I'll really appreciate. So I went into this movie completely blind and just wanted to watch it. And so the movie I'm going to be talking about today is Trespassers. Trespassers is directed by Orson Oblowitz. Two dysfunctional couples rent a modern luxury home for the weekend, having to sort out their messed up lives. Just as they are about to settle in for a fun night, a neighbor turns up to their front door saying she has car trouble, but soon they discover the person they let into their home may have nefarious intents. So as I said, I literally just clicked this movie on Hulu and watched it. Didn't read anything about it, didn't read people's reviews. I just watched this movie because I thought it had a cool poster, and this movie was awful. I wish I never would have clicked the poster. I wish I never would have watched this movie. It was absolutely terrible, and after reading other people's reviews after I watched this movie, it's pretty much unanimous that this movie is terrible. And the reason why is this movie has no idea what it wants to be. It calls itself a home invasion thriller, but it doesn't become that until about the last 25 minutes of the movie. And most of it is trying to build up this tension between these couples, and it's really uninteresting. So as the plot description states, we have these couples that are going to this house. At the beginning of the movie, we see this house, there's people in the house, they run out of the house, and they get murdered. So we cut to these new couples that are coming there. There's this boyfriend and girlfriend that show up to the house. You can tell there's tension between them and their relationship. We come to find out later that they were supposed to have a baby. There was a trouble with the pregnancy, and then you have this other couple that shows up, which are the douchey boyfriend and the really annoying, obnoxious girlfriend. That they all show up together. They're trying to have a drug-addled booze cruise vacation where they just hang out, drink, and kind of let all their problems fall to the wayside. And the first half hour of this movie is expositional dialogue. It's just bland dialogue about their lives, tried to give you as the viewer some sort of interest in their lives so that you can be attached to these characters, so once they eventually end up getting killed off, you actually care about them. But the problem is they spend so much time doing that to where when the actual action of the film kicks in, you just really don't care, and it's not stylized. The cinematography is relatively bland. It's very hard to stay engaged in a movie. One of my favorite things about slasher genres, or just horror films in general, are fun, stylized cinematography. And it doesn't have to be anything spectacular. The Friday the 13th movies aren't spectacular, but they have some really cool sequences that are shot during the kill sequences that make the movies interesting to watch, right? They don't have to be anything immaculate. I'm not talking Terrence Malick level movies. You don't need Roger Deakins to be your cinematographer to make your film look interesting. You just have to come up with some kind of creative shots. I felt like this movie, just from the poster, that maybe there'd be some cool color thrown in there, some kind of homage to a different era of filmmaking, and it becomes just this really bland movie that there's this woman that ends up showing up, she knocks on the door, she needs to make a phone call, they try to build up some tension of, oh my god, is she here because she's actually having issues? Is she trying to play us? And then there's this plot twist in the third act that tries to make the movie way more engaging or interesting than it actually is. And the problem is the build-up is so bland, the performances are really bad. There's just nothing to keep you hooked or engaged in this material to make anything that happens in the third act interesting. There's a couple gnarly kills towards the end of the movie, which I enjoy a good practical effect or CGI gore kill, but you gotta give me something else. I need something more than that. Even the Friday the 13th movies, as much as I go into those because they're fun, stupid slasher movies, the characters are always enjoyable. They're fun to watch because sometimes they're just idiots, and it's really entertaining to see. The characters are so blatantly annoying that it's impossible to stay connected or interested or engaged because of how irritated you are through a majority of the runtime of the film. And I was really hopeful that this would be something interesting or new or fun, and it was just a big waste of an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes of my time. And if you have a Hulu subscription, there are a million other films on there that are much more interesting than this one. Just avoid it at all costs. So have you seen Trespassers? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought. I thought this movie was really bad. There wasn't really anything interesting that happened in this to make it worthwhile watching. It was just relatively bland, and I was checked out by the end of the movie. As always, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, it helps me out a lot and lets me know the type of content you're looking for. I'm always putting out new material and look forward to getting more out for you in the near future. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.